Okay. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled In Love with the American Dream. So last night I'm on a panel with Q, Alpha Male Lessons. I know Q by many different names, so you gotta excuse me, but it was me, it's Q of course, me, Dana, the real Dana, and Mila. And we brought up like what are solutions, what are things that's causing a rift in our community. And one of the things that was brought up was the individualism in the extent that we're in love with the American dream. When other groups are in love with each other enough to give each other the American dream, we're in love with the American dream, and we don't, and it's like narcissistic and hedonistic. So, you know, when they think about the American dream, they used to say, you know, a married couple with 2 kids, a house, a dog, and a fence, right? I want to say white picket fence, but that sounds racist. No, but the thing about it, because we were talking about different cultures, and other cultures preach family, and we're not as family oriented as we once were, because the individualism has got us chasing the American dream. And I think one of the bad parts about that is the American dream is just that, a dream, right? And a lot of times, you know, when your dream is perverted, when you just want to get the American dream to get stuff, not necessarily put your kids or grandkids in a certain space. I want to get the American dream so I can get a Lambo. I want to get the American dream so I can get a mansion and some Rolexes, and I could just, you know, eat at restaurants and, you know, just basically chill stunting on people, right? Well, that's a perverted dream because it's all about you. And since you want to make it all about you, that's what it's going to, I guess, stay. That's how it's going to actually stay, which becomes a problem. Because what winds up happening is there is no muse. You know, if the American dream is your masterpiece, you know, what is your muse? And if your muse is your own hedonistic wants and impulses, it might not be as masterful as you think when it comes to an end. And I think about it because, you know, people say money can't buy happiness. I don't think money was supposed to buy happiness. Money was supposed to buy comfort. You know, happiness is an internal job. But I think we view comfort as happiness. And comfort isn't happiness, it's just comfort. You know? Because when I think about the American dream, it's luxurious. So it's very comfortable, very plush. You know, very conspicuous. So since it's those things, you want to be seen. See, when I initially said what people thought it was, you know, husband and wife, 2 kids, house, dog, picket fence. The world didn't have to see you. The world didn't have to go, look at me, look what I did. It wasn't about all that. It was, you know, that was the American dream, to own some land and have a family. And you can build from that. Now it's just, you know, it's free fall. But a lot of the people who you would say are hustling the best, they either have a family that they're trying to give the American dream to, or they're trying to give it to the family that was broken. You know what I'm saying? But not just, I got to do it for me, just because. But I think that gets lost in the mix, lost in translation. And, you know, fortunately, you can see that, the old biblical quote, "What does a man gain? Well, you can gain the whole world and lose yourself." I'm not quoting verbatim right now. My head is spinning, but also, what winds up happening is, with materialism, there's gonna always be there's gonna come a point where it's just stuff. And I've watched this happen with people before. Like, it's just stuff after a while. After so many, people buy big, huge house, then they realize I don't need this. I need to downsize. You buy a bunch of cars. I don't need all these cars. You downsize. You buy a bunch of clothes. I don't go out as much to wear all of this shit. You downsize. You got a bunch of jewelry. I can't wear this stuff everywhere because it's gonna make me a target. So you downsize, or you get the type of jewelry that looks plain but is expensive. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the other stuff, but because being in love with this American dream is like because part of getting the American dream is passing it down to somebody. For all the people who want to be like religious and Christian and whatever. You're supposed to pass down something to the next generation. And I think, somewhere with us, between the end of the civil rights movement and now, I remember, if everybody remembers back in the day, I think it was Pac and MC Breed, I gotta get mine, you gotta get yours. And the older people used to say this, I got mine's mentality, or you get yours mentality is going to be the death of us. But the problem was, the older people were telling that to the younger people, not realizing that the older people told the younger people, I got mine, you need to get yours. You ain't got nothing coming. You feel me? Even though, a lot of us from our families have seen other, our families inherit things from other people, and then those people be horrible stewards over inheritance. And so what is that desperation, in my opinion, leads to being in love with the American dream. Like, sometimes when I grew up, nobody thought, the underworld and the streets was a bad thing if you were making enough money at it, right? A lot of people were in on the take, even, even law enforcement, right? But it was all to get the quote-unquote American dream. And the thing some people did to get it, the vast majority can't live with their decisions. Few people made it out scot-free, and few of their kids made it to a situation that was better off than them. We're not looking at a Kennedy situation where dad was a dope boy and the kids wind up politicians and presidents, and no. The vast majority of people, it don't work like that. But I say that to say, when you're chasing the dream, people got all the pictures decked out, clicked up, and after the pictures, the where they not stories are horrible. Just horrible, and all for the American dream, which I don't see anything wrong with your ambition getting you success. People, was upset that 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying. Yeah, I get the premise of that. Nothing's wrong with that. But I think some people perverted it to get rich, kill somebody trying to do it, And that ain't gonna work. And you have nobody to do it for, So when we're in love with the American dream, the dreams don't love you back. Okay? So, and a lot of times we're in love with the dream to pacify ourselves from the reality. It's kind of escapism. But if you deal with the reality, you could build the dream, but it's just gonna. It might take, depending on your plan and your breaks, it might take a short time. It might take a long time. But if you stick to the plan, you can get the dream at the end. So that's just my thoughts on this one. Like, share, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace and shout out Q.